Hello! Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. Today, I have not just one it's upside down. I have not just one sketchbook to share with you guys. I have two. Yeah. No monkey business. No monkey business. Oh wait, I mean monkey business. Wait, what's the saying? Let's get down to monkey business. This is some monkey business. We're gonna get into some monkey business. This one is sketchbook 15 and this one is sketchbook 13. Yeah, so without further ado, do you guys like my nails? I put on fake nails. They kind of make my hands look like a 40-year-old woman, but... Huh. Okay, let's just get started. I'm sorry. Starting off with the first sketchbook, this is sketchbook 13, and once upon a time it actually looked like this. I didn't like how I arranged the stickers, so I took them all off and I painted it pink, and my intention was to go back and put more stickers on top, but I filled it out so fast that I never ended up doing that, which actually is pretty rare. This sketchbook was really fast. I think I filled this one out in like 2 or 3 months, which never happens for me. I started this sketchbook December 28th, 2023, and I finished it, I guess. Whoa, we'll have to wait and find out. For the welcome page, I just decided to draw myself as an inkling. This is when I got my new watercolor set, so I was just swatching over here and I made this piece. If you're wondering what set this is the Arteza pastel set. It's pretty good. Experimenting more over here with the watercolors and just using what was left over here and just did that. She looks like that one fish from Shark Tale. No, she looks like the fish from the Barbie movie. Even Nisha reference, oh my god. I wanted to do some studies from Just Dance. I was gonna do the whole choreography for that one song, but I never ended up finishing it. I think this was in class and I just used whatever was on the table. Over here, I just have some doodles. And this page, I have a parchment on top to protect it from this because I didn't want the pencil smudging. This is one of my favorite pages in here. I drew Dusty Trails, but she's one of my favorites, so I drew her in my style. Happy New Year 2024! Woohoo! If my January 2024 self and my December 2024 self had a conversation with each other, they would literally not believe it. Like, they are not even the same person. It's crazy. There's a page I did with my blue pencil that I love so much. It is sadly gone. It got to the point where it was just nub. It died, unfortunately. I remember when I filled this out, I was kind of going through it, so I drew something I don't normally draw. I like this sky. It's kind of giving Where the Wild Things Are. I feel like this would be fun to turn into like a lino cut print. Yeah. I like the detail. And over here, just random. This girl was in a bracelet making kit that me and my friends did at a sleepover. And I decided to cut her out and put her in here for some reason. This is just some clown girls. Their eyes pink, so she kind of looks high, but it kind of looks cool. So, hopefully there's not anything on that. Pretty emo, vent art looking page. You can pause and read it if you want. I told you guys there'd be some monkey business in here. My printmaking class at my school, For the assignment, we had to like draw something that represented ourselves, you know, typical art class first assignment. This is one of my original characters, Mango the monkey, because she's kind of like a self-sona in a way, I guess. I just drew Mango the monkey in the Littlest Pet Shop art style, specifically the Prescott Hill style. I love his work so much. Oh my, don't even get me started. So I was just experimenting on this page. This is pretty close to what it ended up looking like. And over here, I was just brainstorming piece ideas for my next project in my portfolio. I knew for my next piece, I wanted to do something about growing up. And I had this idea of like people interacting with each other through windows. I didn't really go with this, but it was just fun, you know, brainstorming. I was really inspired by Lalaloopsy still. I was kind of on that Lalaloopsy high. And I was particularly inspired by this guidebook I had when I was a kid. I loved this thing so much, and me and my sister spent so long just looking at it. So I used that for inspiration for my next piece. And it just got me thinking about like my characters and stuff, and I was like, what characters do I have when I was a child that I was obsessed with? My Perler Bead Girls, yes! Instead of bunnies, which is kind of, you know, basic, I decided to go with my Perler Bead Girls, and each one is gonna have a different window. I always imagined them as being some sort of doll line or figures or something, so this was very self-indulgent. I'll just say that. This was like the most self-indulgent thing I've ever made. In total, I ended up drawing like 34 characters. Oh my gosh, I'm just remembering how long that took me. Another idea for my AP art piece, I wanted to do something inspired by Minecraft and friendship, because friendship is a huge part of every person's childhood nostalgia. So I drew it based off of my Minecraft world that I had with my friend growing up. It was called Camp Friendship, in case you're wondering. And this is where we played our Minecraft roleplay. This is a safe space, guys. This is a safe space. This piece was inspired by my best friend and my sister. Here were our Minecraft characters, and I translated them into like not Minecraft anymore. Sketchbooks all over the place. Going back to printmaking, I had to come up with ideas for my next print. It was just a Lionel cut, but bigger. I was really inspired by Gray Legs. If you've been on art YouTube for a while, you know who Dina Norland is. She was such a big inspiration to me. I love her work so much, and she inspired me so much as a kid, especially Gray Legs. I remember the day I got this, I literally exploded with excitement. I was so excited. Oh, rest in peace, Dina Norland. This was the preliminary sketch for my carving, so it looks pretty similar to this. I'll put up a picture. When I rolled the ink on top, I did an ombre effect, and it turned out really cool. His name is Gus. I had to go through and count every character I had, their color scheme, yada yada. How was I going to translate basically pixels into a updated character that wasn't very pixely? My watch list for all the Slade episodes. And over here, this was just all colored pencil and highlighter. I knew I just wanted eye strain, chaotic, in your face for the next piece. It was kind of based off the idea that I was a crazy kid growing up. I was a spaz as a kid, so I wanted the bright colors and busyness to like reflect me being an actual spaz as a child. Over here I was studying Kiko's work. I really love their compositions, and I knew I wanted to play with that in my own piece that I made. I was experimenting with this coral cell thing. This is not my usual style at all. It's kind of like intense. I don't know. But I like it. It's pretty cool. Playing around with composition. experimenting with the style. Here's my Splatoon icons I made for that one video that I did with my sister. Here's when I was gonna go through and try and map out all the colors that they had originally, but then I gave up because there was just too many characters. Just a bunch of things that were happening in my life at the time. More doodles. What's in here? Let's find out. Can't show you that. Art cards. Saw our prayers. Saw our prayers when I wrote my name in cursive. Basically just junk. But I'm a hoarder and I can't throw anything away. So I'm just gonna keep it all. Remember to saw our prayers, guys. There's no end date, but it's basically just around the time Bad Batch Season 3 came out, if that's any time frame to go off of. That was Sketchbook 13. Since this is a double feature, let's move on to the next sketchbook. On to the second sketchbook. A lot of these stickers are destroyed, ripped, falling off, or have just straight up fallen off. That's just kind of the nature when you bring your sketchbook everywhere. Let's just get into the sketchbook. Here's just some of the stickers that have fallen off. Bunch of notes and things in the envelope. These stickers are so cute. I got them from a friend and she got them at a thrift store. Here's my welcome page. I started this sketchbook the 6th of June 2024 and I ended it. I forgot to put the end date on here. Here's my OC Mango de Monkey. Yee! My other OC Monique, and here I am. I was getting back into my Miku phase during this time, so tons of Miku. E-Miku. That stands for Emu Miku. E-Miku. I love that retro anime style where it looks kind of bad, but there's something really charming about it. And I was just messing around with my new watercolors here. I was going to LPS Con this summer, so I was also just really obsessed with LPS around this time. So you're gonna see a lot of that in here. Here's my OC Alien Boy. He still doesn't have a name. If you guys know what to name him, let me know. Because I don't have a name for him. I just keep calling him Alien Boy, and I feel like that's not really his name, you know? On this page, I had one of those erasable pens and a silver pen, and I just did this. I think it looks pretty cool. Not very like accurate proportion-wise, but I was just having fun. Sometimes I like to just take random colors that I have in my pencil bag or whatever and just use that to fill a whole spread, and that was the case with this. I just grabbed a random marker and random colors and just see what I could make with it. I was really obsessed with those erasable pens, so I just went in with a bunch of different colors. This is a failed attempt of a video I filmed, and I just didn't have enough time to get it out in time that would be time relevant. Let me explain, that doesn't make any sense. We're going to LPS Con 2024, so in the video we're just talking about that the whole time, and I feel like it wasn't really relevant considering I didn't get it out in time. So maybe one day I'll refilm this idea, but if you're wondering, this is a challenge that me and my sister love to do, and it's really big in the LPS community where you draw that little pet shop. You like pick a random one and then you draw it. I drew Tank, just drew him, you know, as a pet shop. This girl, and we decided to name her Odette, and I drew her as a human, you know, like little coquette style. I love little pet shops. So I will definitely be making a video like this again. I started a collage, I never finished it. I kind of just really like this background. And over here, just another collage. I was gonna glue more sketches from my notebooks over here, but I never really got around to doing that. And I made a sketch for a patch that I was making for my pair of pants that I wore at LPS Con. It was so cute. Still have them, still wear them all the time. Oh, I love how they turned out. My Little Pony OC. More watercolor experimenting over here. And this, you've probably seen this cutie out and about throughout my videos. This is the Decora Girls. Who's excited for wave 2? Oh, she lost a sticker. I drew her in a short video, but I accidentally used a water-based marker to fill her in. And then I went in with watercolor. And then, yeah, you know how the rest goes. Okay. I decided to do an artist study, and I started off with candy jellyfish on Instagram. Okay, moving on. Me and my friends went on a trip, and we decided to paint the landscape. It turned out horrible, but it was a really fun memory, and I'll remember that experience forever. We found a geocache too. It was really cool. Just doodling little pet shops. Oh, I recently got back into customizing after, I need to stop saying recently. This happened like a year ago. After LPS Con, it re-inspired me to get back into LPS customizing, something I have not done since I was like 10. Some of these designs actually ended up being customs. The rest was just for fun. This page, okay, how am I gonna show this? It's a little dirty now, but in the video where I drew this, it's nice and fresh. Cute. Ah, my nail. Get on there, you. Anyway, developing ideas for my Anthro custom. And over here, I was just drawing Alien Boy and Dee Dee, my space disco astronaut girl and Alien Boy. I don't really know what their story is or called yet. Here I drew my friends. They literally are so amazing. I feel like I can translate them into cartoon characters so well because they all have like that one feature or like aspects about them that just translate really well into cartoon characters. I think they're all so cute. Here's when I was brainstorming ideas for Cringetober 2024. I know it has not come out yet, and I said I was working on that video, but that project turned into something way bigger than I anticipated, and I want to do it right, so yes, the video will come out when it's finished and when it's ready to be uploaded, you know. It's not really gonna be Cringetober anymore, but I think my points and everything in that video are still pretty relevant, and I'm proud of all the work I did. It's a month's worth of fully finished pieces, so yeah, I'm really excited to show you guys. But for now, here's just the brainstorming. Pretty self-explanatory. More brainstorming over here. This turned into that one animatic. That was also for Cringetober. I added this to glue stuff on, but I only did that. More planning for my animatic and my animation meme. Okay, this is where it gets intense, guys. This is where my OC took over my brain, basically. I couldn't keep them in my head any longer, and I had to create them and put them on the paper. Otherwise, they would have
infected my brains.
More Casey trying to figure out what her eye shape would be like. This was a thumbnail for a final project I had in my drawing class. Here's Casey. Here's what her design looked like before I'm going in and redesigning it. I just taped in some sprites. I was just messing around. Messing around again. Some more sprites. All of my OCs as of the 21st of December, 2024. Like I said, my OCs were taking over my brain, so I needed to get them out of my head, otherwise they would infect me, and I wouldn't be able to do any of my actual schoolwork or work. I don't think I spelt that word right, but it's fine. All of my OCs, as well as some other doodles and things that aren't mine or my characters, you know. On this page, I was just brainstorming ideas for her story, inspirations, and just, don't worry guys, I have a whole video planned for her coming up. Because again, I can't get her out of my brain. Jet Set Radio, woo! I love Jet Set. I love Jet Set Radio. My friend has a Vivienne Westwood book, so I just drew a bunch of the looks in there, just very loose. I gave myself like a minute probably to just, yeah. I actually beforehand, I did a bunch of watercolor washes for backgrounds, and then I went in after while I was on a road trip and just drew a bunch of stuff. I really like these Splatoon eyes. I think they look really cool. Developing Casey more. I wanted her to have very spiky hair, but I just don't think that fits her personality. I don't know. I still have a lot of work to do for her. I just wanted to get to the end of the sketchbook by this point, so a lot of these pages from here on out are just me trying to use up the paper space. This is when I got my new gouache paint. So I was just messing around in here. It doesn't look very good, but I was just testing out the colors and everything. Animal Jam or something. It was Christmas time, so I literally just stuck my wrapping paper in here. I do this a lot, but I didn't even put any doodles or anything on top. And yeah, just trying to fill out space. And here is the last page where I just wrote down some of my feelings at the time going into this project and my new sketchbook. I just knew I wanted I just wanted to put more effort into my work and my art and everything. I just had a lot on my mind at the time, and I was just brainstorming ideas. Cool paint from a dried palette that I think looked really pretty, so I stuck it in here. But with that, sketchbook 15 has been toured. Still being creative and drawing, just not in here as much as I would like, which is why there's like a lot of sketches and just unfinished, messy, sloppy things in here. But, you know, sketchbooks aren't meant to be perfect. They're supposed to be for sketches and developing ideas further. And a lot of the stuff I made during this time was a finished piece, not in my sketchbook. So I'm still pretty proud of myself and the work I was able to do at this time with this sketchbook. So yeah, both sketchbooks completed. I'm doing a little jig, but you can't see. You'd have no idea, except you do because I just told you. Those were the sketchbooks. Thank you so much for watching. Before I leave, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the support on my channel recently. It's kind of crazy. That rainbow video blew up, and I've been getting like fan art of the characters, and that is like a dream come true. So thank you guys so much. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Oh, also, I straightened my hair. Straight girl moment. Okay, oh my. Judas.